Rav Frand relates the following story. Rav Zelig Epstein, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, who lived from 1914 to 2009, Rosh Yeshivas Shah HaTorah Grodno, he was the address for countless individuals seeking counsel and guidance, including other well-known Rabbonim and organizations. As a person who rendered and resolved serious life decisions, his broad shoulders provided succor and support to all those who needed it. On one such occasion, he shouldered the burdens of a woman who had tragically been widowed. Having survived the Holocaust together with her husband, they arrived at the shores of America and went on to build a family with 3 children. Unfortunately, the suffering of the Holocaust took an irreparable toll on her husband, and he could take it no longer. Tragically, he decided to end his own life. His bereft wife now faced a murky future as both a Holocaust survivor and a lonely widow. She was very fragile and needed someone to turn to for solace, and Rav Zelig became that individual. Sometime later, one of her children grew very ill and needed medical treatment. Once again, Rav Zelig stepped forward, overseeing all the medical procedures that were involved in caring for the child. His efforts bore fruit, at least for a short while, until Erev Yom Kippur of that year, when matters took a decided turn for the worst, and the many sorrows which already troubled this poor widow grew exponentially. Her beloved son passed away. Here was a woman who went through the inferno of the Holocaust, lost a husband to suicide, and now her child succumbed to illness. Walking to Kol Nidre that evening, Rav Zelig began thinking that maybe this woman would not be able to endure her loss, and she would break down and meet the same fate as her husband. God forbid. Rav Zelig made a quick decision and decided to skip Kol Nidre and the Yom Kippur davening, and instead walk to this woman's house and spend the holy day with her. If he would give her the emotional support she needed at this painful time, perhaps she would be able to pull through. But as Rav Zelig began to walk, he realized that it would take him well over an hour to make it to the woman's house, and maybe an hour was too long. Without further delay, he decided to confer with his Rebbe, Harav Yaakov Kamenetsky Zecher Tzadik Livracha, who lived from 1891 to 1986, the Rosh Yeshivas Torah V'das and Chaver Moyetzes Gedolei HaTorah, as to the proper course of action. He quickly walked over to Yeshiva Torah V'das, where Rav Yaakov was davening, and asked, "Can I take a bus to visit the widow so she will not remain by herself?" Well aware that between carrying the money for the bus fare and traveling to the woman's house, Rav Zelig would clearly violate Yom Kippur, Rav Yaakov nevertheless pointed to a few coins that were placed near him. The money, which Rav Yaakov had designated to be used for his own bus fare after Yom Kippur, went to Rav Zelig instead to do this important mitzvah on the holiest day of the year. And so, Rav Zelig Epstein, one of the preeminent leaders of the previous generation, ran to the nearest bus station and traveled to the home of this poor widow on the night of Kol Nidre, so that she would not remain alone. And it was all because he thought that maybe out of misery she would perhaps not be able to handle the pain and may decide to cut it short. It was there that Rav Zelig spent the rest of Yom Kippur, offering care and comfort to a woman who was facing the most trying of times.